name's Eric Mail. I have been a personal trainer for 11 plus years now, almost 12 years now. And that's a minute in a lot of industries, but in fitness, that is an eternity. Something like 80-90% of trainers don't make it past the first couple years. So it really is saying something, the kind of longevity that I've had in the industry, and especially because at the most basic level, I don't have any of the obvious advantages. I don't have a killer physique. I'm not overwhelmingly charismatic. I'm smart, but I'm not god tier genius level, Mike Menser or whoever. I started in fitness older than most people are when they leave fitness. And yet, in a dozen years, I've stuck around while younger, slicker, better looking trainers have fanned out, flamed out, crashed out, burned out, or otherwise just gotten out. And it's become sort of an obsession for me. What puts a trainer on track to make a career out of being a trainer? What puts a trainer on track to feeling like their time is better spent somewhere else? Which dovetails nicely into another obsession I have, which is how do we become the best possible personal trainer? What is the best possible personal trainer? I'm an obsessive type, if you can't tell. It's my gift. It's my curse. It's my sword and my shield. It's just who I am. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with martial arts. I watched the movies. I read the books. I trained and practiced every day. I swapped VHS tapes with other karate nerds. And if you were in the scene in the 90s, you know those VHS tapes are where I was at. I read the magazines. I read Black Belt. I read Cross Training. I read a lot of martial arts magazines. That's actually where I got started in strength and conditioning. Because I wasn't really born for martial arts either, if I'm being honest. I was what they would call a chubby kid, if they were being extremely polite. My legs were too short for my torso, and I was slow. Okay? But what's the saying? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. And if there was a harder working adolescent in Southwest Missouri around that time, he was not working on martial arts. So I got the magazines. I read the magazines. I did the exercises. I joke that a lot of people get into martial arts to improve their health and fitness, but I got into health and fitness to improve my martial arts. It's okay if you don't laugh. It's not a great joke. But it's a great truth, right? I didn't care about aesthetics, really. I didn't care about how much weight I could move. I cared about moving better, recovering faster, getting injured less often, and improving my martial arts training, which was formative in a lot of ways, and it came into play later on. Now, in life, things don't always go your way for various reasons. I did not make a career out of the martial arts. I went to school, then I joined the ministry, then I worked in politics, then I sold cars, then I did a little of this, then I did a little of that. Whole time, I stayed interested in combat sports, I stayed interested in combat arts, and I stayed fascinated by the ways you could exercise to change how you moved, how you felt, your risk of injury, things like that. And so when I got into the fitness business, I took to it pretty quickly because, one, I was used to playing from behind and making up the difference with work ethic. Two, man, it was fun. It was fun. I poured my time and energy into it because it was fun. And I'm fortunate that I met the right people at the right times to enable me to make training into a career, or 6 careers and counting. Now, here's the thing. I love being a trainer, but it can be a little cringy of an industry. We attract grifters. We attract con men. We attract divas. We attract egomaniacs of various sorts. Whatever, who cares? Except for this. They make it harder for good people who want to help and want to make an honest living being decent human beings to do that. You've seen it. You have seen it. The cool cats and kittens come in. a great look and a slick smile and a canned sales pitch. They spend 6 months swindling half their gym out of 5 sessions. Then they get into management. They spend 6 more months telling all of the trainers that they're now supposed to be responsible for the careers of it. You just do it like I did it, bro. Then it doesn't work. They crash out. They go into selling houses or bartending or whatever comes next. And again, if they're happy with that, I'm happy with that. I don't care. Except those trainers that they were supposed to be leading now have a stigma to overcome. They have discouragement from those months of frustration to overcome. And a lot of times they've just had food directly taken out of their mouths by that jerk who took opportunities that should have gone to a good trainer who cared and was trying their hardest. I want to help those kind of trainers. The kinds of trainer that I was fortunate enough to become, and the kind of trainer that I want to see become the dominant norm in the industry that's currently led by slick conman and snake oil salesmen. I want people who love the art and the craft and the science of personal training, and not just the sales and marketing, or more realistically, the lack of regulations thereon. I got to work with people who helped me find and create my authentic self in a way that was beneficial and profitable. And I want to be that for other people. Good trainers leave the industry for 3 reasons, right? 1, they can't develop their skills enough to become good at their job. 2, they can't make enough money to justify the time and energy and effort that they put into the job. Or 3, they don't feel like their work matters. Doesn't always have to be all of one of those things. Can be a combination of any of the 3 of them in various amounts, but it seems like it's always those 3 things, right? You don't talk to good trainers that leave because they hate working in sweatpants and having to put up with protein farts or whatever. All of that can be overcome, guys. Even if you're not the most ripped or the most charismatic, in fact, especially if you're not the most ripped or the most charismatic, you can overcome all of that, because the people who hire trainers don't want to look at your abs or enjoy your dulcet voice. You'll get some people like that, but those aren't the ones you build a career on. The people that you're going to build a career on are people who care about, 1, whether you can understand and empathize with what they deal with, and 2, whether you can help them get what they want out of their bodies and out of their lives. And if you can learn to do that, you can have the career that you want in fitness. All that stuff that's on the brochure when you sign up, it's all true. You can make a bunch of money. You can write your own schedule. You can put your head on the pillow every night knowing that you made the world a happier, healthier, better place to live. And you can do it in a way that's authentic and that's fun. You're not going to do it by memorizing sales scripts. You're not going to do it by pre-writing cookie cutter programs that you then flip to people on Instagram or whatever. You're not going to make it with the weird pills and potions and shots and all this kind of stuff, right? And you shouldn't want to. If that all feels sleazy and fake, that's because it kind of is, right? And if you don't know how to overcome that aspect of the business, I've been you and I can help you. If you are certain your head is going to explode, if one more frat boy tells you, your body is your billboard, bro, I have been you and I can help you. If selling 90-day booty transformation programs to would-be influencers feels like 2 full-time jobs worth of work for 0 emotional, mental, spiritual satisfaction, I've been you and I can help you. This is what I obsess over. How can each trainer become the best possible version of a fitness professional that they can be? How can we develop skills and make money doing work that we believe matters? That's what I'm going to talk about on this channel. It's what I'm going to talk about on my, hopefully we'll kick to the podcast here eventually. If you want one-on-one work with me, I do take a few people for coaching. I've got small groups that I coach. I keep them small. I keep them limited because I want to go deep. I don't want to give you another pocket full of useless tools. I want to help you figure out how to set yourself up for a career in fitness. I want to help you change your life. Go wherever the links are, wherever you're viewing this. There should be a link there. If it's still active, I'm still accepting applications. Happy to work with you. Excited to get to work with you. Otherwise, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this. And, yeah, my name is Eric Mail. Without further ado, let's get started.